Mucilaginous is the word of the day. Try to show off to your friends with that Jeopardy question. Anyways, the old Cootie here coming at you with another exciting video. So sprouting, right? Sprouting. These are sprouted lentils. They started out life like this. They probably started out like this, turned into this, and then turned back to this. But anyways, with that being said, there are certain things that you cannot sprout in a mason jar. You can do them the traditional way, or you can do them the way I do them, like on a towel or like on an egg crate, for instance. But there are three things that are in this. There are many things, but there are three things specifically in this mix that will turn very mucilaginous, or very like a gelatinous sack that surrounds the seeds, that just prevents it from being sprouted the traditional way. You got your sprouting lid in a mason jar that you just cannot do in a mason jar. And I'll tell you what those three things are right here. Arugula, right? Arugula, cress, and mustard greens. Those three things will turn very mucilaginous in a way that you cannot sprout them. Also, flax, right? Flax sprouting seed. You cannot do flax in a mason jar because it'll just get too gelatinous and it'll get all funky and gnarly, and yeah. So you have to do flax and arugula, cress, and mustard greens on either a paper towel, which I'm going to try to show you how to do it here in the next few weeks. We'll start that video series. In this case, I'm going to be using egg crates, right? And the reason why I like these is because look at all those little nooks and crannies in there. Better than an English muffin. Damn it. But if you see what's going on there, there's plenty of room for those roots as they start developing to take hold. And then basically, I'm just going to spray with the water bottle. So basically, soaking, I'm going to do one for the flax. I'm going to do a separate one for the super spicy greens mix from Rainbow Heirloom, by the way. Great company, great customer service. They're high quality, low prices, best bang for the buck that I could find when it comes to these types of things. I'm always looking. I'm always on the quest or the hunt to try to find the best prices at the lowest. The best prices, highest quality, right? Best prices meaning low prices, high quality. I'm always on the search for products, always updating those links that are down below in the description, also the links in the comment section to these types of products to try to relay that information over to you. But that's basically what's going on here. Anyways, egg crates. I'm going to be doing about a teaspoon or so of these, put them into a jar, right? Fill it up with water, just basically soak them overnight. And the key there, we're going to do a whole video series on this, but the key there is only put enough water to basically cover the amount of seeds that are in there. Because the more water you put, the more gelatin or gelatinousness you're going to get. And then you got to deal with all that aftermath after. So basically, it's just enough to create enough of a gelatinous mix of those seeds, right? And the gelatin that forms the mucilaginous. I'm going to gelatinize basically this egg crate and basically spread it all over the egg crate to try to get the seeds, to take root and take hold. The traditional way would be coconut coir, a pot or a plant, right? Or a potting plant, something like that, to basically do the same process. Soak them in a jar and then transfer them to soil and then grow them either, like in this case, on my kitchen countertop or wherever else. I wouldn't quite put them outside yet, depending on the climate, the zone that you're in, the temperature outside, all that kind of stuff. But the whole goal is to try to do all this indoors, right? To try to do this indoors on a, indirect sunlighty part of the countertop. And the whole point of doing all this is because, oh my God, like, have you seen the price of microgreens at the supermarkets lately? It's almost as expensive as, say, saffron would be. Maybe not, maybe more. I don't even know, but it's just ridiculous. Why buy when you can do it yourself at home? It's one of those things. But anyways, that's the whole reason for this channel, is to try to get high quality, low prices, best bang for the buck. If you can do it at home, these little projects that I have, why not, right? Why not? Save some money, get your sulfonaphoranes in, good antioxidant qualities, good micronutrients, right? Microgreens, micronutrients, you get the idea. Vitamins, minerals, all that good stuff. With that being said, I'm the Old Coot. Stay tuned for a mucilaginous video coming soon. We're going to make these happen, and then we'll do a separate one for the flax. And then basically Harvest Right will cut off our sprouts, and then I'll either throw them in a smoothie or make a salad out of them or throw them in a salad. That's basically what I'm going to do with these sprouted lentils, right? Lentils, back to, started at this, went to that, went back to this. I'm the Old Coot, and I'll catch you all in the next exciting video.